What up to the podverse and everybody sleeping in the cloud? Welcome to the Blacklog, where we talk black about TV, film, music, and sometimes, hey man, we digress and drink coffee. My name is Rod. Why don't you say hello to my co-host, Ryan?
What's up? What's up? What's happening with y'all?
They said
Chilling?
hello. They said hello to you, and you said, "Hey, what's happening?" I said, "Hey, what's happening, y'all?"
What's up? What's up?
What's up?
Hey, I would. Oh, wait. You know what? I want to give a shout out to my boy Jamal, who is actually my fraternity brother, Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. Also, a fellow Purple Knight, class of '93. Played in the band. I believe he played the tuba. I know he played with the Human Jukebox too. Out there at Southern. His wife has a company. Did the shirts. She made this. I got this made Howard University, 1867, in purple and gold for the fraternity. On the back, don't know if I can show that, but there is an A.
What is the A for, Ryan? What is the A for?
The A is for Alpha Chapter because my fraternity was started at the school that I went to, Howard University, and I crossed in 1995. So I want to give a shout out to eTiffanyCreations.com. It's actually called eTiffany Custom Creations. She makes they make shirts for HBCUs and also a lot of stuff on their website you'll see is from New Orleans, but they can make anything. I can tell you that. It's good quality shirt, man. Good quality shirt. So had to give a shout out. Had to give a shout out to eTiffany Creations.
And that's the important part. Good quality shirt.
Oh yeah.
Good quality shirt. My shirt is made by, it's not important my shirt is made by. It's just Hank Aaron. How about that? Number 44. How about that? There you go. And being that Ryan has a shirt that's talking about Howard, today we're talking about Spike Lee's film, School Daze. Spike Lee's film, School Daze, was his second film ever. His first being She's Gotta Have It in 1986. This debuted February 12th in 1988. He is the ground zero. He is the beginning of the modern black film renaissance. Brought us Matty Rich, John Singleton, Robert Townsend. All of us go back to Spike, no matter how crazy his little cricket looking ass look. Spike he got us here.
And might I add,
you might.
She's Gotta Have It. I actually saw that in the theater as a young 7th grader, actually right before my car wreck.
Really?
And
should you have seen it?
That would be up to you, who you and Willis dragged me out to see it. And I was like, oh, I like this film.
Oh, maybe I shouldn't have said that. I didn't know. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. I took you there on an educational tour because I thought you may have wanted to get into film. And you did get a degree in communications. That's why I took you there at that age.
We'll go with that. We'll go with that.
Like I said, debuted February 12th, 1988. It is the first, to my knowledge, I researched it, it's the first film ever done about a HBCU. HBCU theme on an HBCU campus. They began shooting on Morehouse's campus, but then I think the administration saw the script and they were like, well, we ain't too cool about this. And because some of it, if you look at some of it, some is shot as a Morehouse football game, and there are parts of Morehouse that are there, and Morehouse, Spelman, Clark, Atlanta campuses, all of them said, no, you got to go. And he finished shooting the film on Morris Brown's campus. Being that Different World had already hit TV, and we still were kind of confused by the first season.
Yeah.
It was Spike Lee who was a Morehouse graduate, so we were really anticipating this. Morehouse College in the script became Mission College, the fictional Mission College in Atlanta. It's co-ed, so it's not Morehouse, because Morehouse is all men's college. Homecoming, to be the first one, homecoming weekend is the greatest setting ever for HBC. You get a feel of everything. That's a HBCU. Homecoming. I can't speak. I think we said it before. I can't speak for PWIs. I'm not saying they aren't excited, but man, HBCU. If you want the full, I'm about to say Howard, but if you want the full college experience, black HBCU experience, homecoming weekend. It's you because you have people coming back from years. So far, like I graduated in 1956. Ah.
Yeah.
Fellas, I know your frat brothers come in and say, how old
Oh
are
yeah.
you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, how old are
I'm one of those people going back who's very much older. I mean, I crossed at 95.
But yeah, and that is some time. I'm just saying, you know what I mean. When they walking with a cane and up there, it's like,
Oh yeah.
I'm still with it. I'm still with it. Let me state, hadn't watched this in a while. The opening, in which the Morehouse Glee Club is singing the spiritual "I'm Building Me a Home."
I'm building me a home.
This earthly house is gonna soon decay. And I had the soundtrack, and I used to kind of sing it mockingly. I don't know if it speaks to the times we're living in right now, but it hits harder now because they had all these pictures of like Frederick Douglass, Booker T. Washington, and just through 20th century black history, and it ends on this one photo of a black man at an anti-busing rally. He's in a suit, and he is dodging a man with an American flag, a YT man with an American flag, being very patriotic. Patriotic. He's going at him with an American flag. And I sat there and I saw that, and it's like, as you see, produced, written, and directed by Spike Lee, and I'm saying, my God.
Ain't much change.
And you know what? That man's name was Ted Landsmark, and he's still alive. This was in 1976. It was 2 years after you were born.
Yeah.
This is 1976. I was like, he was trying to stab him with an American flag. The film is definitely about colorism, classism, the divide. I don't want to say the divide between Greek organizations because it's more about colorism.
I don't even. I looked at this movie again and I don't even get the reason. Honestly, I mean, I know Spike. I don't know what Spike was on. I mean, he obviously wanted to address dark skin and light skin in the black community, which, it's something. But the setting, I look back and I'm like, you could have picked any other setting. Maybe he couldn't find another environment to throw this into, but when I looked at it, because I never saw that problem on any college campus, let alone ours.
A phrase that is told to many writers: write what you know. And you can't tell me that Spike ain't writing something that happened.
It's something. I'm just not certain that it was on a black college campus.
No,
it might have been. I didn't see it at Howard. And I mean, we saw all shades of colors.
Mike, you gotta remember, Spike also was at college in the 70s.
Oh,
Spike was in college. Spike was at Morehouse in the 70s, going into 80, if I'm correct. You know what I mean?
I remember, I said Bill Cosby, that season one Different World. He threw them 1940s in to a 1980s college. Spike might have done it too. I don't know.
I don't even know if I just think it's Spike's experience and I think from what I gather, being that I was watching this in real time at a HBCU, I could see the division a little bit because the weave wasn't a thing in the 70s. You know what I mean? But you could kind of see the division. You couldn't tell me that the gamma rays weren't AKAs. It just felt. It just
Hey, I can't. Like I said, I went over in a different time. I
understood.
went to Howard in a much different time. AKAs, Deltas, all of those sororities, they had women ranging from light skin, very, very light skin, like somebody you see in New Orleans, all the way to
They definitely
chocolate
had
black, dark skin.
Are they distinct? Are they distinct gangs like Spike had? No, I'm not going to say that at all because the first line, Kamala Harris's line, that was my freshman year, and her line. There are a few light skinned. I say the majority, but there were a couple of young ladies. There was this one young lady. Wish I could tell you her name. She just reminded me of the lead singer of the group Loose Ends, and I used to call her Zagora. I said, "Look at Zagora." Never knew her name. And she just stood out. But like I said, it's a color. It's definitely a colorism. When this is the she's got to have it. Is not like School Days. School Days is when we learn how Spike Lee is going to be in future films. I'm gonna put this in your face.
Everything he did. Yeah, everything he did was in your face. I just did personally.
Yeah.
For somebody who's who went to college in the '90s, early '90s, I personally did not really understand the environment because that is not the type of environment I was in at Howard.
Understood. But for me, it's like it was amazing because we're literally in real time, and we're watching this and we're anticipating this. Man, he threw, let's get to the film. I remember he threw a party when Morehouse played Howard in '88. He threw a party. It was homecoming weekend. Like that was like we played Morehouse for homecoming, and man, Atlanta came to DC, and he threw a party at Union Station. 2 DJs, EU, brother, man.
Sounds like a plan.
What the kids say? Lit.
Sounds like a plan.
Lit. And I remember right before we went in, they had to cut everybody off, and JC cut Spike Lee out. You know JC. He cut. He's arguing with us about the game or whatever. Let's get to the movie. Our main characters are Vaughn Dap Dunlap, played by Lawrence Fishburne, and Giancarlo Esposito playing Julian Big Brother Almighty Eves, leader of the Gammas of Gamma Phi Gamma fraternity. I'll assume incorporated like all fraternities are.
Yes.
Yeah. He is. Dap is the. How can I say? I don't want to call it the leader because they always keep his ass in check. But he's kind of like this full leader of this group called the Fellas, including
kind of like little fake me out 5%ers.
I don't know. No, you cannot say that. Not this group. Not that. No. You know this group. You cannot call none of these are 5%ers.
Okay.
Because Jordan, played by Branford Marcellus, our New Orleans homeboy, Branford Marcellus. Grady, played by Bill Nunn. Kadeem Hardison played a character. I never knew his name. His name was Edge.
Really?
His name is Edge in the movie. Eric Payne played.
I forgot that Bill Nunn's name was Grady.
I know because the names are never really said. Eric Payne plays Booker T. Washington, and Monroe is played by,
Somebody was named Booker T.
Yes, Booker T.
Which one?
It was Eric Payne, the one who had the speech that we'll talk about later.
Okay.
He's Booker. He said Booker T. Washington. I said, damn, his name is. I know a Booker T. Washington. His name is. Called him Chip. Was what they call it, campus pal from Chicago, and I remember I met Chip, and we were talking one time, and they said, well, "What's your name?" And he said, "Booker T." I said, "Oh wow, like Booker T. Washington?" Yes, my grandfather. What?
Oh wow.
I was like,
okay.
I was like, yeah, he's your frat brother.
Oh, okay.
Chip is your frat brother. And James Monroe is played by James Bond III. You may remember him as the little kid from The Fish That Saved Pittsburgh. And he kind of was
I did
Gary
not see
Cole.
that movie.
You did not see The Fish That Saved Pittsburgh.
I mean, bro, I was born in '74.
This was 70. That was 80. Well, maybe you did. Okay.
I just remember you had the book. That's all.
Yeah, it just I got it on DVD a couple of years ago. I said, "Wow, I really like this, huh?" It still might be something to go look at. I like this, huh? But it was Dr. J. Dr. J had a movie. I'm going off subject. Back on track. Don't want to digress. They have a female counterpart group that no official titles, even though they're called the Jigaboos. Hey,
you don't really find that out though until they sing that song.
Yeah, that's true too. You don't really sound. They are.
Other than that, you didn't hear that name say it throughout.
You're right. It's only in the song. You do hear them throw. The word is thrown by the other group at them. But my point is, they're brown skinned, dark skinned women with natural hairs. And in the 80s, that was the beginning of the natural hairstyles being embraced. And Dap's girlfriend's name was Rachel, and she was played by the actress Kim, Kyme. Kim. She went by one word. She was trying to do the Madonna thing. She was the unofficial lead. Also, in that group was Jwali, Spike's sister.
Oh, yeah.
The Gammas had the pledge group. They're in their 6th week. That pledge line included Roger Guinevere Smith. You may remember him from Do the Right Thing. Mookie.
Yeah. Also had a young Julian.
Yes, Julian, Whitley Gilbert's boyfriend on Different World. The members of Gamma included Daryl Bell, a.k.a.
young Ron.
Ron is already a year into. Think about it. Ron is kind of into different. He's done Different World already. Also, future filmmaker Rusty Cundiff, who did Fear of a Black Hat, if you remember that.
I remember the name of it. I never saw it.
Because there's a meme a video that goes around with Alan Payne. I'm blackity black. He's rapping.
Oh yeah.
They have their own female counterparts that spoke up the gamma rays or wannabes, which are basically a bunch of light skinned women, and they're not all light skinned because Jane, the leader, Jane Toussaint, played by Tisha Campbell, Different Worlds. Jasmine Guy is a member, and also Ricky and Doughboy's mama, Tyra Farrell.
I noticed her. Yeah, I saw her. Yeah,
a lot of people in here. Again, as we said, this is one weekend. This is a homecoming weekend.
Yeah, this is homecoming Friday. Starts on homecoming Friday.
Starts off on Friday. Dap and the fellas are out front protesting the school who has yet to divest from South Africa. And this is a real thing because in real time, we were having this issue on campus. It wasn't a divesting, but there was a gentleman on the board at Howard who was I forgot, I'm trying to remember exactly what it was. He had dealt some way, somehow he was connected to South Africa, and they were like upset about it. And so this was a real problem across many campuses because like in the film, they say, the government and white people, a lot of white people were sending their support to HBCUs, but they got, where that money coming from, it got real questionable. So this is it was a very real thing, and they're protesting and in front of the A building with President McPherson, played by Joe Seneca of, what's that movie, Crossroads?
I never watched that movie. Yeah, they tried to make Ralph Macchio more than the Karate Kid, and
they just
found out it didn't work.
But I did watch that.
Hence Cobra Kai.
Let me tell you something. I did used to watch that. That used to run a lot on cable. I watched it.
It did, and I avoided it. Yeah. As you watch it, I avoided it every time.
Wow.
Every time.
Every time. In come the Gammas come. They're bringing their line through. They are marching them in through this protest, and literally Julian says, I don't want to hear this Africa stuff. He's literally this is bigger than the Gammas and the fellas. This is all clearly about Dap and Julian and their history. And I'm assuming, because we do learn that Dap dropped line.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that was his line, brother, or whatever.
They might have been friends before that.
Yeah, and whatever. Who knows what happened, but there is tension between these two. And they are about to go at it until Virgil, student body president, comes out. Virgil, played by Greg Burge, may he rest in peace, used to be on Electric Company. Greg Burge, but he was, and his two little entrances in that film, I found him entertaining, bro.
I mean, he just seemed to be caught in the middle, man. That poor dude was just caught in the middle of everything.
Dude, but he was to me, he was always funny. He had two.
I mean, he was funny. I just felt sorry for him because he was caught in the middle of all that foolishness because they let him go take care of everything.
Yeah, they did. They said, you go take this because I ain't got nothing to do with this. We go to, what is it? We see the Gammas. With this story, we see the Gammas and this is kind of where the Gammites, the pledges are with the Gammas at the frat house. And
above ground, too. Above ground. Which was very, that was 80s very much. Above ground pledging ended definitely in the 80s.
Really? You never appeared? No? Really? It just stopped? Yeah.
Yeah, in the 80s, I mean, I definitely did not see anything. I mean, you saw shows.
Okay.
But,
Okay. So Julian suspects Half Pint this is kind of what kind of pushes the story forward to our infamous ending. He feels that he says, his story is, I am not pledging no virgin, and you need to go get a freak, bring her back, the way 8, cripple or crazy, I don't care, whatever.
Yeah.
For those who've never heard the term freak is, I think, is a woman who may be sexually free, promiscuous, generous with herself, if you call it. That is his mission.
It's a very appropriate and very businesslike way to describe that.
I'm trying here. We keep it clean. We do our best to keep it clean. We do begin to see, we get a touch of what we're going to hear a lot from Spike with his, I call it call and response writing, where he gets groups of people saying things and loud things like, you ain't seen no parts of the pussy. I like, that type of thing. This was the real beginning of the, you know what I mean? With Spike just overreact. Like, you have a group of people, that type of thing. You know what I mean? He goes...
School Daze was my first introduction to fraternities and sororities.
Really?
I mean, I never knew anything about, like, literally everything that led me to joining Omega Psi Phi was about as organic as it could possibly be. Like, my first introduction to anything fraternities or sororities was School Daze. Like, and being from New Orleans, bro, you're in high school, bro. You are not thinking about anything else but what we got going on in New Orleans. Period.
Wow.
St. Mary's Dance, McDowell 35 explosion, St. Aug football games. That's all we talking about. We not talking about School Daze or these fraternities and sororities. And, a lot of people, they have people that they grew up knowing. I didn't know anything.
Half Pint goes to a women's dormitory to literally just try to get a woman
that was
to come with him. It's just, we go through a series of ladies, and it's just extremely odd. It's like,
I mean, if you think about it, Spike, he knew. I mean, he knew from the beginning that this was a ridiculous thing to do.
I don't. I mean, yeah, but it's just so ridiculous. Hey, yeah, we've never met before.
He was like, I gotta. It's like I gotta go in here. God.
I guess. Yeah. I will say one of the and the ladies are looking at him like, "Are you crazy?" Even though one of them says, "Well, call me after you go over." I'm like, why? Please. And you know who that was? It was Kasi Lemons, filmmaker who did Eve's Bayou, Candyman, Harriet, and The Secret, Self-Made, The Life of Madam C.J. Walker. Like, yeah, like
I know who she is. I didn't know she did all of those movies. I knew she was an actress.
Yeah. Well, no, she was an actor, but yeah, turned director.
Yeah, I didn't know she turned director. That's what it was.
Dap wants the fellas. He's like, it's still Friday, and he's like, hey, I want y'all, to come back with me to, over to Shantytown so we can protest. And the fellas is like, look here, Marcus Malcolm.
Like, bruh,
bruh, look.
Homecoming weekend, bro.
Come on, bro. You got to be kidding me if you gonna do that, dog. He said, look, we gonna chase some tail. I'm gonna see you tomorrow at the parade, but not tonight, dog. Get a grip.
Like for real?
Like for real? Yeah,
like it's Homecoming Friday, bro. Homecoming Friday. I literally remember my first homecoming as a freshman. We literally hit the yard at about high noon, and when we hit the yard, we already had at least one OE. Old English.
Yeah,
English.
That is malt liquor. That is the bottom residue of beer. Of beer vats.
ROLLIN'. Rolling.
BAD for the kidneys. That's what it is. BAD for the kidneys. That's what that is. That's what OE does for you. They go the gamma rays, and let me state something. Bill Nunn is going out. Bill Nunn plays football. You ain't going out nowhere. And if you do go out and you get caught after, that's your tail. That is your butt with your coach. Like that kind of.
Wasn't there a part before that though that Dap went to they pulled Dap into the president's office or something like that?
Oh, they did. That is Saturday. That's not.
That was Saturday.
That was Saturday.
Okay.
That was that was after the game. That was the game.
I'm gonna tell you why I say this, bro. That movie was 2 hours. I never realized that movie was that long. It seems shorter when you watch it.
Let me tell you something. Now that you mentioned that, I bet this has nothing to do with what you just said, but I gotta say it. Lawrence Fishburne, aka Dap. Dap looks like Furious Styles in this movie. That's how old he is. Like Kadeem Hardison had a little facial hair. Branford Marcellus has no facial hair. Bill Nunn is clean shaven. He looks like an 8th year senior TA resident assistant on borrow from another college. Why?
He's definitely pushing it with that NIL, huh?
Dude, he's on his 10th year. Like, bro, come on, bro. Like, nobody just shave a little, bro. Come on. He was
starting quarterback for Mission College in his 10th year of eligibility is Dap.
Oh, Dap was like, come on, Dap. The gamma rays are we get to see a little bit of them and how they're getting ready to throw a party for them to go over this, that, and the other.
The gamma rays, bro. I will tell you this: the gamma rays,
they're supposed to be sweethearts.
They're
trying.
Like if they were Omega sweetheart.
He created this Omega sweetheart sorority. Like he just created.
He basically he called them whatever you call them. Gamma rays.
And that's the thing. Like, I was happy to see the movie. I was like,
I wonder where they got the rays from. Rays, gamma
dude,
rays.
It was weird, bro. I'm gonna tell you, like, especially when you're at HBCU. And the crazy part about that is
gamma rays. Where'd they get that name from?
Dude, you'd have to ask Mr. Shelton Lee. But I'm just saying, it's very. That's the way he does, bro. That's Spike, and I can't be mad at him. He's had success. They're walking. They're literally walking in a hallway, and the wannabes, the gamma rays, and the jigaboos are walking up, and suddenly,
What day was this?
this is still Friday. They meet up in a hall, and then, because let me state this: when Spike announced this movie, he said it was a musical, and this number that they're about to do is the most musical thing in the whole film, and they just break out into the good hair versus bad hair thing, which was, I looked at it, it's still quite entertaining, but
It was entertaining. I just don't get why he chose that environment. And again, like you said, maybe it was his experience. I have no idea. I didn't get it.
I got it.
I love the movie. I love the movie. I just didn't get,
It's definitely
the movie felt like it was more about, going over, crossing, and experiencing homecoming weekend. And it seemed like the light skin, dark skin thing was just kind of thrown in there, and it was thrown in there negatively towards those who want to join fraternities and sororities and those who do not. When it is what you want to.
Spike Lee's films are what's going on in his mind at the time. And his time was, I got an issue with colorism and the fraternities, and I'm going to throw it in here. Jungle Fever, he had a problem. We got a crack problem. And I can't stand that my dad was married to a white woman. So I'm going to write Jungle Fever. Let me put that into a movie. She hate me.
Write, and maybe it was, I'm going to create Dean Big Brother Almighty, because maybe I didn't make it to the fraternity that I wanted to make it to.
That's true too. That's very true too. Yeah, he's. Like I say, it's a personal experience. It's a personal Spike. All Spike. You can look a little bit below the surface, and something that happened to Spike. Like I say, they go and they have this amazing. The most musical thing in the whole film is this: how they just break out into film. Break out into song. And I wanna be better than me. And you're a jigaboo, looking for something. I was like, Mike. And back then, it was like, go ahead.
Before they actually got to that part, because you were speaking about their meeting, the Gamma Rays meeting.
Yes.
There were a couple of things in there that I remember. What was up with the wannabes hating big time on hip hop, bruh?
That made no sense. It was one line, but it was very weird. It's like, and please don't do that hip hop thing. And it's like, it's 1988. It is hip hop.
Yeah. I was like, ugh. How you gonna hate on hip hop like that?
Exactly.
Oh, girl wanted that Run DMC too.
Hold on 1 second. My dog was tearing up. So I was going to kill him. I was like, what are you doing? Yeah, I was like, what is that noise? I look at it. That was weird. It was very weird how they just hated on hip hop. I didn't get that at all. We go to the coronation, and the president and his wife and the board member, whose name is Cedar Cloud, played by Art Evans. And I wanted his wife to say, you know what? Why are you here? You were here at dinner? like, why are you still here? Because he was in the office talking to President McPherson, and she
that dude always seems to play a sellout.
Damn. Wow. What the movies he sell out?
Soldier Story. He was right there with Sarge, bruh. Although Sarge's mission was kind of basically calling out the other dude for being a sellout. Sarge was still, he had his boy right there with him.
He threatened to take his stripes. I remember that.
Cause remember, at the end of Soldier Story, he got caught and he was like, I hated Sarge. Cause he had that.
He did. He was mad. I got to say this: in the coronation, a gentleman comes up with dreadlocks and a fade.
Yeah.
That is Sinke Lee, Spike's younger brother.
Is that
And
the one
his-
who kissed the girl?
who tried to kiss the girl and it got
She was like-
awkward. It
she
was
was like-
awkward. Like that wasn't in the script. That's the way she looked like.
Bruh, is this still Friday? This is still Friday night.
Yes, and his character's name is Buckwheat.
You lying.
I am not lying. I looked at the credits. It's like his character's name was Buckwheat.
You know, everything about that coronation, which for us kind of would have been like, I guess, you know, I know Howard, you said a fashion show. Everything about everything that happened that night, even with them, with their little song, the music, everything was homecoming, bruh. Like everything was appropriate.
Yeah,
Like
it was.
like even in a time where hip hop is just taking over, like everything about that was appropriate.
It was. It
appropriate.
definitely was. I gotta say this. The Jane, Dina, and two other Gamma Rays come out to sing "I Don't Want to Be Alone Tonight." These girls are putting together post going over parties, providing cleaning services, and doing major productions and side musical numbers with social messages. Do they go to school? Do they go to class?
And Gina, bro, Gina, no, we pay for it. And it was
that's
like
Jane. She's Jane here. She's not Gina. She's Jane.
She always be Gina to me. My son gets on me about that because I call everybody either your boy or your girl, or I call them by their name from a previous movie.
And he says, he has a name. He has a cat. The character has a name. Thank you. I got it. There's a quick scene where the guy when the Gammas meet up with the what you call it, and with the guys online, and
Tell me
I
what he
really
said.
see-
I'm Cocoa for Cocoa Puffs.
yeah, and I just gotta say one thing, and we can move on. When the dude paddles Spike Lee, he's smiling. Spike Lee does not try to act. He just doesn't try, dog. It's like he's like, this is my movie. I ain't gonna act. He literally is getting hit with a board that is almost half his size, and
That was
he's
a big
like,
board, bro. That was a big board,
dog,
bro.
that's a decorative board, bro. Like no one carries.
Bro, that was so big, bro.
Dude, could you imagine that as saying, no, I can't. That's a decorative board, bro. You don't do something like that. This is just sad.
While we're here talking about boards, I'd like to take the time to say that Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated does not condone hazing of any sort, and that is that. It is illegal.
Dap is sitting at night in his makeshift shantytown talking to four of the students about the protest. And I got to ask this question. How sad is your life if you're sitting in the cold listening to Dap not even move them? You're not even moving the needle on this divest thing because the people who could do something are at the coronation. Why are you listening to him? Because guess what? In 30 years, you're gonna come back to homecoming, and everybody's gonna say, "Hey, you remember when Heavy D came into the coronation and got on the mic?" No, I didn't. What happened? Oh, I was listening to Dap talk about divesting from South Africa.
You know what, though? I remember looking at that scene thinking the same thing, but at the same time, I was thinking, while it seems crazy for a homecoming night, there are people on campus who are like that, bruh. You ask them about homecoming, and they will have been at something like that, or they will, like, bruh, if you walk across, I remember walking across campus or walking off of campus one homecoming, and it was dark. It was a Friday night, and I looked up at the library, and I saw the lights on, and I could see one head in there, and I was like, really? Really? I highly doubt that your professor gave you something that big unless you screwed up royally or you're a gump.
I'm not messing up my 4.0 average. I'm not going to lose my scholarship. Maybe that person's cared about their studies just more. I'm not there
You know
for
what?
your little part.
As we'll find out later on with our friend Booker T.
Tell me about it. But I talk about stupid, but you know who is stupid? I shouldn't call her stupid, but Rachel. You ain't go to coronation to spend the night with Dap. And I think it's nice.
Homecoming too.
All that for Dap. And I will say the song that they used, they had him singing. Keith Johns is the guy who's singing at the coronation.
He's about as a child is born. That's what you're talking about?
Wow. Let me tell you something. People thought he was, when that song first came out, people thought he was Stevie Wonder. They thought Stevie Wonder was on the soundtrack. They thought he was going to be the next one until he wasn't.
From being in a mother's womb.
It didn't sound like that. It did.
And how many times?
Oh, you're living in there. Ah, you are.
And that's when they hit that flash, and your boy was like, I didn't get that. You hand her the flowers, and they just walk off.
Yeah, he did extra, bro. So, but then the whole thing with that,
I got a feeling that after they said cut, she cussed him out hard.
Oh, she did. She cussed him out hard.
But she looked like what?
But you know what?
She didn't look like she was saying, "What are you doing?" She looked like she said, "What is you doing?"
It was an awkward.
What is you doing?
It was a smile that said, "Man, what's wrong with you? This is uncomfortable." I did like the reality of Dap trying to clean up the room before the girl, because let me tell you something. That's so real right there. I don't know if it's the same thing. Let me state this.
That room smelled like toes, drawers, and corn chips.
Let me tell you something.
And you ain't getting none of that smell out by moving some stuff around.
You try. You do your best. Well, how about this? I had a heads up, so I knew. Thanksgiving, my freshman year, my roommate was leaving. So you know what that meant? I got me a double bed. I got me a California King by myself until next Monday. And I contacted this young woman, and she said, come over. And let me tell you something. I was in that bad boy like Alice and Miss Garrett and Willis and Arnold's dead mama cleaning up. Let me tell you, my dad took that little $20, $30 mom and them sent me, bought me a couple of snacks and went to the lounge and bought some 12-ounce Pepsi's for some post-coital drink. Man, it was sitting like a child waiting for Santa Claus at the window. She come. And let me tell you something. I was like, no should have been coming out, because I was looking out that window and that girl came up in that car. I said, and she drove by. And I was like, wait, where you going? Let me tell you something. I was like, I'm 17. I was like, oh, I'm going to do. I know what I'm going to do. And she just drove by. You know what? I contacted her. I said, wait, why? What happened? I saw you. Well, my boyfriend was outside. What? Look at me. What? Your boyfriend? You have a boyfriend? Wait, look at this. You have a boyfriend that lives in Cook? Bruh, I said, what? But let me tell you something. That room, going back to what I was saying, that room was clean. My point is, I know what that was doing, throwing stuff out. That room was clean, bruh. And well, then Rachel mentions she wants to go Delta, and he just goes off. It's like, so she bounces out. Like, what is wrong with you, bro?
Well, she told him she told him that she was pledging, and it was like Apollonia told Prince that she would join in Morrison's group.
Bruh, it was.
You were
like,
doing what? Oh, bruh. The only thing that would have matched that scene, bruh, is if Dap decided to backhand her, like Prince decided to backhand Apollonia, bruh. Like, bruh. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Exactly. And then let me say, we smash straight to, and again, this is through Spike's eyes. We go to this scene, which I love the song, The Perfect Match, but the scene with Tisha like Campbell is like the whole thing about lick. I was like, do you really believe a woman wants to lick a keloid brand? I really don't think so, Spike. And I think you have this twisted view of a lot of things, dog. So I kind of got past it.
Including the middle of his head, too.
Dude, yes. And yes, that was correct. Yeah, you licking pomade? What is wrong with you, girl? Like, what are you doing?
Not pomade, bro.
You're licking pomade, man. What is wrong? And you can see Spike saying, "Yeah, lick the part in his head." Like, I bet Tisha Campbell's like, "What? What told you this?" This scene was more confusing, over the top than the ending of "She's Gotta Have It" to this day for me. How about this? We finally get to Saturday. It's homecoming, and they're in the parade, and I think it's ironic.
I'm really trying to remember how She's Gotta Have It ended, now that you brought it up. I don't even remember how that movie ended.
It was the scene with all, like...
they all gave their names. Yeah, all right.
And they all with her, and it's just like, this is just weird. But we're next day, it's the homecoming parade, and out of nowhere... I think it's funny that Julian, who has such a problem with Africa... And the Gammas have like this pyramid and this theme, like this.
I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, like what kind of cognitive dissonance are you working with there? Dap and the fellas come up behind with their protests or whatever, and suddenly it's like, ain't you been in this parade for a mile and a half? Did you just notice these people behind you? Like now you getting upset? They've been here the whole time, right? But then your boy, and I'm gonna tell you this, I don't think Branford Marcellus, a.k.a. Jordan, had any script. I think everything he said was just him saying what he wanted to say.
It's him talking.
Right. Because when what's-his-name said, when Virgil comes out there and gets mad, I'm so tired of you. I'm just tired of it. And he says, my profanity. He said, Virgil, profanity. And I was like, that was not written. That was so not written.
Also note, in the parade was a young doughboy's mom.
Yeah, I was saying, did we mention her? We mentioned her earlier, right? Tyra Farrell, right? Because she's one of the...
I didn't know that was her real name. When you said it, I think in my head I was thinking of old girl from House Party. I was thinking of her.
Who is in the movie.
Yeah, that's who I was thinking of.
AJ Johnson is in the movie later.
Yeah, AJ Johnson. Yeah, that's what
AJ Johnson. I got to speak on Ozzie Davis, which might be the funniest cameo, the funniest head coach cameo in the history of film, bro. Ozzie Davis is this elderly black coach, and he's talking to the mission team, and he's like, men, we have gathered to do a job. He gets biblical. He says, the devil is in that locker room. And he goes on to say, people have come to see you, your family, your friends, and dare I say, your lady friends. Bruh. And then it just gets to the basic part of really want to say, do you want me to lose my job? Bruh, Ozzie Davis is the greatest with that dog. And then when they're running out, it's so funny because they're running like this. The way they That team, might I add, that team looks like they older than the 1968 Baltimore Colts, bro. Half of them dudes got ex-wives and went to war and came back. I want to play college football. You 39, sir.
Yeah, I know. Whooped too. They got whooped.
But yes, and they got whipped in the game, but they scored first. And the one who gets me is his wife, is the president's wife. It's just the first quarter. Like, damn. Like, why? I want to say, why you want to be so negative? I said, why you being so negative?
Don't get all hyped up.
Could you please get on brand?
It's just 7-0.
It's just 7-0. Could you please get on brand? And during the game, Dap gets into this thing like, man, we ain't won homecoming since I've been here, and he gets very irate.
That was an interesting. I guess it was a brawl. Not to mention, I've never seen fall pledging. So, like everybody who crossed at Howard was spring.
Yes.
So even like for instance, Xavier University, Omega Psi Phi, Xi Sigma, their chapter crosses fall, but usually it's right before the Bayou Classic. And yeah, the Bayou Classic is not Xavier's homecoming, but it is the Bayou Classic. Yeah. It's the Bayou Classic, which is like the homecoming for...
If you don't know what the Bayou Classic is, the Bayou Classic is it's an annual game played by Southern University and Grambling University, and it's the Battle of Louisiana as far as HBCU
It's on TV every year.
And it is played in the Superdome. And yeah, it's just an annual thing, and it's Thanksgiving weekend. So
we can easily say that the Saints never have a home game.
Ever.
Homecoming. No, actually, you know what? I lied. The Saints, I think, when they play the Rams this year, it is after Thanksgiving. So,
well,
there you go.
You know what? They did, because the Super Bowl year they played, they didn't play Sunday, but they played New England on Monday night. I was there. So it happens. Let's to say the least, they get into a fight. The guy says something. It's Leonard Thomas is the actor. Leonard Thomas went to Howard as a Howard graduate. The guy who's with the Gramites, he's the dark-skinned brother.
Oh, yeah,
Patton. He yells down, says, shut down, and is there, what's the name, says something about his mother, and they get into a fight. Now, as much as Dap gets on my nerves, why is only Dap called into this? Was a fight. Like, a lot of people were involved. It's like, why? Why is Dap the only one called in? That makes no sense to me. And Cedar Cloud, played by Art Evans, and them, they talk about, this is when he gets into the what you call it.
Oh, what I was talking about.
Yeah. He gets in, and he gets in. I ain't gonna lie. Cedar Cloud kind of put his hands on Dap a little bit, and it's like, I kind of like, bro, you kind of.
I am literally, bro, when I saw that, the first thing I thought about was my line, brother. My four. You know exactly who I'm talking about. I cannot picture anybody putting their hands on him, bro, without him throwing them clear across the room, bro, like a cartoon, bro.
It was something about that. It's like, ooh, this is, man, you kind of, and maybe it's the times have changed. I don't know, but even then, it's like, why you putting your hands?
Man. I just say my four. I can see my four like, and he.
Yeah. Well, let's to say the least, he gets threatened with expulsion, and he goes back to the room, and he thinks the fellas don't know, but they do. They confront him about it, and he says, yeah, they talking about expulsion, and he says, man, we can't give up, man. We got to do something. We got to do something big. And that's when everybody's kind of like, yo, dude, you need to chill with this, bro. You need to know, you need to know when to what you call it. And Booker T. Washington, played by Eric Payne, gives a speech that now might be called tepid, but in 1988, when he says it, he goes off and says, "Look, man, I come from sharecroppers. I'm the first person to go. I'm the first person to go to college.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm all with the program, this, that, and the other, but I don't care if Bishop Tutu, I don't care if Jesus Christ himself tell me.
Right? But that dude said, if Jesus Christ, he is literally saying to you, Jesus Christ come up to him and say something about him with his getting his degree, he got problems.
I got problems.
They got problems.
Me and you, JC, we got problems if you talk about me not getting that degree right now. You know what I mean? And so they leaving and they bouncing, they kind of leaving out. What I found was funny, as he leaves, Dap gets angry and he pulls a dart off the board and he fakes like he's going to throw it. And I was like, if somebody would have done that, I said, Dap, you want your ass whipped for this, dude. Don't do this to me. What is throwing a dart at me? Are you crazy?
Yeah.
Long story short, they make up, whatever you want to call it, and they decide to go to KFC. The infamous scene at KFC. I want to say on the way, it annoys me as hell because Booker T is driving his car, everybody's in it, and Dap annoys me because he complains about the car, and I can't stand a person who gets in somebody's car and rides and complains about a car. That's the person who should be put out. That's just me.
Man, but they all. It was funny just looking at them, just driving and clowning around.
It was really
honestly,
it was very real.
You could do that, bro. You could do that with your boys, especially in college, bro. You could do that for hours, bro.
Oh, definitely. That was extremely funny. Like I said, they went to KC for the infamous. Do you know who is working the cash register?
That you talking about the girl?
Yes. That is Roland Buddy Lewis's cousin.
Really? That's Buddy Lewis' cousin?
Yes.
Buddy Lewis is not only my frat brother, but my chapter brother. Wow.
That's his. Yeah, I remember hearing that. It's like, yeah, dude.
That's all right.
We get to meet a young Samuel Jackson and his locals, as they are called in the credits, the local yokels. And Branford goes over to just to borrow some salt, and he says, "I'm still using it." And he said, "You know when you'll be finished?"
What? Bro, I'm thinking about Samuel Jackson. What he said? What did he say? He said,
What time it is?
Yeah.
What time it is? I was like,
we just all bust out laughing at it, bro.
And especially the one wearing the Eddie Murphy outfit, bro, the all red, bro. Oh God, it's just like, bro.
What I had a big problem with was Dap. I'm like, bro, you tripping? You really all that food on the table,
dude. You ain't the only one, dog, because I said I'm upset because you leaving $45 worth of KFC on the table. You must be out your mind.
I'm like, you crazy. Like,
Dap, you out your mind, bro. You out your mind. Let me tell you something. But the conversation coming out in public in the shower cap, and your boy, Bradford Marcellus, like a FM bitch. Bro.
Pointing to him, too.
Like, that is not in the script. He is just saying this shit. I'm saying Branford is just improvising. I know he's improvising. This was not written, bruh. Oh, my God. You were talking about riding in the car, which I found funny was they were telling mama jokes. And I'm going to tell you, Branford, Jordan, his character Jordan, was coming with talking about size, this, that, and the other. But I'm going to tell you, when Bill Nunn said, "Yo, Jordan, I heard your mom held Kareem to 15 points. That's next level right there, bro. Because that's when you're saying your mom is a solid NBA defender who she been training for this. Like, it's easy to say your mama's fat and this, that, and the other, but he said your mama held Kareem. This is the all-time, at that point, he was the all-time scoring leader in the NBA, bro.
But then I think the comeback was, at least he was in the game.
No. You know what? Because he said somebody started for the Because Rambo said, you started for the hefty hoes. At least you started.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I'm just gonna say this in short because it's really I don't want to. He pulls over so he can speak to Dap to tell him that Junior is going to make his.
Yeah, that was one of the most. Let me tell you what. Let me tell you all out there, and I think I can speak for all black fraternities and sororities on this one. Let me tell you what's not going to happen. You are not going to walk up to someone who is a part of the organization and say, "My cousin is crossing tonight or whenever." Okay. You see how far that gets. You see how far that gets you.
Pick one of your random frat brothers. Just pick a frat brother. Pick one that came before you. Pick a frat brother.
I would pick a
friend
friend who's a Kappa, bro.
No, I'm just thinking about that. Like, bro, a random run of your frat brothers. I can't even. I'm just thinking off the top. Grady Crosby, come here. Let me talk to you. My brother.
I can picture Grady just like.
Talk to you. Let me talk to you, brother. Grady, come here. Grady, let me talk to you. My brother Ryan, he's gone over. Like,
oh, really?
Like, bro,
really?
Yeah. Bruh.
What about your boy though? Big Brother Almighty. I'm waiting for you to say this. I know it's coming.
What?
When him and Dap start talking.
Oh, about the Africa thing?
I am a Greek. I gotta expand a little bit on that. Maybe. I'll let you go.
Nah. Go ahead. It's better for you. I thought it was. I find it bizarre. Bro.
In that moment, I've seen this obviously many times before, but obviously I'm like, I am a Greek. I have literally, bro, I've never run across any person from a black fraternity or sorority who has ever referred to themselves as a Greek. I'm not saying it has happened or that it has not happened. I'm pretty sure there's somebody out there. Never, bruh, in my life. And I think what brought that, I think me paying attention to that so much is thinking about what people think. Like, I'm like, bruh, if the dude or the girl wants to join a frat or sorority, let them be. If they don't want to join, let them be. Like, let them be. Like, but some people I find who are outside of fraternities and sororities, they have this. Some people really have this idea that we look at ourselves as actual Greeks, and that we even looking past God, like bro, if you're Christian and you pray, you pray. If you're an atheist and you don't fool with it, you don't fool with it.
There you go.
It's not hard, bro. Like,
it's that easy. It's that easy. I gotta say, they have. It's still Saturday. They're having the Greek show. The Alphas do their thing. There's a video on YouTube of the Alphas 35 years later doing that stuff. It's much more entertaining, I think. It's much more entertaining. It's much more entertaining watching it 35 years later.
I tell you, it was interesting looking at it. Was like, I was looking at that show like, man, that is a real basic step show. Like, when I mean basic,
that felt like it was on the yard. Just somebody just stepping. Like,
yeah. Like, that belongs. You right, bro. That belongs. Like, hey, they just on the yard, just kicking it.
Like, okay, well, let's step. Like,
yeah.
You just put your windbreakers on and step.
You're not bringing that to the show, bro.
No lights, no nothing.
Hey man, I was in a homecoming show, bro. Now where I was in a lot bigger space. The DC Armory. We were in the Armory when they still were having the homecoming games over at RFK.
Okay.
They made us stay in the Armory all day, bro. Like, we had to get there early before the game, and all the fraternities and sororities showed who was stepping had to stay in that area, bruh. You know, everybody else is so serious, bruh. Man, we brought in half G's of smearing all, bro. We had dudes was cutting hair, bro, trying to get the haircuts, bro. It was. We were like, hey, y'all want to kick it? Nope. No. Hey, man, we got to be here all day.
I guess so. The Gammas came in looking like Zorro. I didn't understand this. I definitely understood that they were sponsored by Adidas. Adidas sponsored a lot of, because I saw Adidas on everything. But I was like, what is this Zorro? I was like,
that was interesting.
But that's like when I saw those knee pads, those baseball. I was like, what? Yeah. What is
the Gamma step show too, bro? It's kind of whack, bro.
Did they step?
Yeah,
it was good. They did the
little thing where everybody flew up in the air.
Did their feet ever really stomp the ground at any moment in time? Didn't feel like it. And then I got to talk about the fellas. They're not going to be welcome into a Hellenic panel sanctioned step show. 6 Negroes wearing their daddy suits. What is this?
So I told you, School Daze was my first introduction to fraternity sororities. And even back then, I was like, why they let these random dudes? Is that how it is? Random dudes who just don't like somebody could just jump on in?
Made no sense. Made no sense. And as they were exiting, I just realized it was Jordan, Ranford Marcellus' character, who started the fight because he grabbed Jane's weave. He did. He grabbed her weave. I was like, that's how the fight started? And then they're in the post-fight Gamma meeting. I don't know why nobody can get in trouble. Daryl Bell says a line to me that just was bizarre. Next semester is a long time to whip some ass. Hey, it's mid-October. What is your problem? You need to talk to a therapist right now. What is wrong? What is wrong with you? I don't know. I'm like, really? Oh my God. And then what's the name comes? I want you to know tonight I'm giving up Jay. This is strictly through the eyes of Spike.
Oh yeah, that was all like I'm like, what? Huh? Back then it was like, huh? And now it's even more like, huh?
Huh? Yeah. That was just bizarre. Like, I just want you to know, I'm done with her. She's too young for me.
I'm gonna tell you another thing that's funny.
She's too young for you because you look like you're 38 and she look like she's 21.
Two things. One thing, bringing it back, and I wanted to say this earlier. Big Brother Almighty. We could probably lean back to this role as when he started his evil reign, the Giancarlo Esposito experience. The
Giancarlo experience.
He now, bro, every time you see a movie now or a show with him in it, you're like, oh Lord, who is he gonna kill? Who is he gonna slice up or burn?
And it all started with back to Mother Africa. I am from Detroit, Motown. And his enunciation, what the kids say, chef's kiss.
Let me tell you too. Dean Big Brother Almighty in real life, that dude is not from Detroit.
No, he is not. He is not from the D. He is not from the D.
People I know from Detroit, that dude is not from Detroit.
He's from where the Silverdome used to be, like Pontiac. He's from dude, he's not.
No, huh? He's from Pontiac, Michigan.
He's from Pontiac, though. He is not. He is not from the. Nah, dude, he's not.
I'd like to welcome you live to Pontiac, Michigan for the annual Lions Thanksgiving game.
Home of Julian Big Brother Eve.
Almighty.
Almighty. Dap after the fight, he goes to. I guess he's realizing all his loss. I just got into a fight. I might get kicked out of school. Let me see if I can get my old lady back. So he goes outside the hall and starts yelling, professing, "I want to apologize." And he goes back and forth with some ladies. Two of those ladies being one, Cassie Davis of House of Pain fame and House Party vet, and Jody's mom, AJ Johnson.
Yeah.
They were yelling. You know what was funny? They had a quick. He said, I don't know what triggered it, but I remember the both of them saying a little Fred Sanford. They said, "If I dare." I was like,
a little overacting.
Yeah. But there's another thing that got me. I know you're apologizing, but in your apologizing, you're dry snitching. Look, Rachel, if you want to pledge Delta, I'm cool with this. Oh, my God.
Yeah, I was like, hey, man, all I could say to myself was maybe it was something different in the 80s.
No,
I'm like,
because guess what? He had gone through the process.
That's
he had
true,
gone
that's
through
true.
the process. So how stupid are you to say that? Oh, my God, man.
And then the girls. What about her girls?
Yeah.
They all of a sudden were hating on her. What's up with this? You going to go Delta?
I can't believe you. You going to be Delta? Like,
man, leave that girl be, man.
How long we been in school? What you talking about? You just knowing this. Come on now.
Even if it's so, though, leave that girl be, man. Just because you don't want to be it.
Hey,
I do have to give, going back to the Deception, I would like to give a shout out to 1086 Alpha Chapter, Tony McLean. Because right before we went on stage, he came in. That's our dressing room. I don't know how Tony made it up there. Only Tony knows. And Tony said, "I'll introduce y'all." And we were like, all right. And he got on stage and he said, "Hey, I'm just letting y'all know," I'm paraphrasing it, but he said it. "I just want to make sure everybody knows the bruhs don't dance. We step. The bruhs don't dance. We step." Hence the fraternities before us who stepped. Guess what they did?
That sounds like Tony McClure. But that sounds like Tony.
Hey, man. And the funny part was everybody was like, "Why'd y'all let him?" It's like, why not? It's Tony. C-Mac, bro. What are you talking about, bro?
He wasn't supposed to introduce you.
Hey.
He's okay. We're okay with it.
Hey, we're good with it.
I know I talked earlier in the scene where Daryl Bell, they were talking about, because the death march is that night. And I'm not asking you or saying anything or telling you, I'm not asking you to say anything, but I just don't believe that any women get that close to a line anywhere. I don't even think sororities let people that close to a line marching in public like that. Am I wrong?
Nah, because when I did my long walk, basically we were that whole walkway from, what is it now, the Chadwick Boseman building, all the way to the sundial. That whole way was lined up with bruhs. So anybody. So as we did our show, so anybody else who wasn't a part of a fraternity, they were behind, maybe videotaping or I don't know. But they weren't up front, that's for sure.
From what I've ever seen, like, these women are literally up front. It's like, it was so, I was like, and the thing that made me laugh was,
that's Spike, man.
I know, because what's his name? Big Brother Feelgood was in a guy's face, and Jasmine God said, "You forgot when I helped your ass last."
Yeah.
I was like, but it was funny when she said it. I didn't believe it, but you forgot when I helped. As she wears
I believe her. She said, hey, the way she said it, I was like, I believe Jasmine got it.
I helped your ass last year. I was like, oh my God. But it was funny.
He tried to see Smooth walked away and tried to ignore it.
He tried to. No, he couldn't. He just kind of dumbfounded when she said it, but it was funny as hell. what else was funny in that scene is when Daryl Bell, I didn't think it was funny at first, he said, who do you have sex with? And Spike Lee said, half-pint said, Susie May. You lying. And then he says, all you had in high school is acne and sore nuts. I was like, what? It threw me. Oh my God.
I feel like something like that was not. That might have been in the script, but if it wasn't, I would not be surprised.
Because he's two dudes like that. Spike Lee did not write that. That's what I'm saying. The things. This is my favorite. Is with Slim Daddy. How long you been online? How long you been online? 6 weeks, 2 days, 15 hours, 37 minutes. And if I had a watch, 16, 17, 18 seconds.
I was like, you pretty good, Slim Daddy.
Bro, he did that.
Slim Daddy hit it.
But when he said, and if I had a watch, 16, 17. That's like seconds.
Here's another such Spike Lee thing. Crossing over on Saturday homecoming night.
I don't know. It's, you know, it doesn't make it, a lot of things don't make sense. They don't add up. Again, it's the fall. I know at Howard we've only seen like when I heard that people pledge in the fall, I was like, oh wow, I didn't know that. I thought everybody pledged in the spring.
I'm like my little emoji.
Well, the I forgot the name of the party, but whatever it was, the post homecoming party,
swim party.
All I gotta say is, EU the butt. It was a good time to be alive.
I would say the swim party was very creative. Creative.
It was a great time to be alive. And it's like, oh my God, we have a reason to get girls to wear bathing suits in the middle of winter.
Here's another thing. They had their little separate party after crossing. That's another thing about homecoming. Yeah. Where homecoming is a time to make money.
Yeah.
So, making money from when you cross, which that wasn't even a party like that. But a homecoming party, bruh, you are trying to make money, bruh. So that's another thing that stood out for me with them crossing on homecoming Saturday night. Unless Gamma Phi Gamma just had a bankroll out the wazoo. That's all I can say.
I know when the Gamma Rays was looking at he said, do we have enough money for the party? How do we do with the bake sale? And Jasmine said, we're good. I was like, that's it? How much money did you have? Like you just, how do
but that's the Gamma Rays.
That's the Gamma Rays. Okay.
That's not G5G.
And we did cut at this point when we were at this party, they did cut back and forth between the Gamma celebrating, going over. Then suddenly, that's another
Phyllis
thing.
Hyman.
It just goes like it's not a gradual thing. It's like Phyllis Hyman, but Phyllis Hyman singing B1. Oh my God, that was written and produced by Bill Lee. His father.
Something happened in football. Hey, the Saints on the bye week. I sure hope it ain't nothing about an arrest. They're like, good Lord,
the Saints have lost to bye. The Saints lost to bye this week. Oh my God, no! Commanders left heartbroken. Oh man, after missing time.
They got beat.
Wow.
Andrew, when you all see this show, it'll probably be about 2 weeks after.
Okay. So they're cutting back and forth, but we slowing down. And this is the part where Grady meets his young lady. It's like everything freezes. The light is like.
He was like,
me? Man, I met her. I met her. I said, it was years later. I said, somebody said, you remember School Days? It's like, I forgot her name, but I was at some function. It said, I was like, that is her. But, and if you notice, during this, you maybe didn't. our friend Jordan, played by Branford Marcellus, is slow dragging with two
With
women.
two. No, I did not. I did not. I do remember that very much.
He has one woman up front of him and one. I said, "Wait, is everybody? Who else is doing this? Like this is." Oh, I was like, man. Then we cut to Grady, who is dancing with the young lady girl, and she says nothing. It's
It was so
all
stinking
him.
there.
Bro. It's all him. Girl, when I saw you,
She didn't say nothing, bro. She had chewing gum, bro.
nothing. So all I could think about was cornbread and collard. I was like, this is... Wait. I bet you a Virgo. No. You gotta be a Pisces. I was like, this is so...
You know, I've always looked at that part and it always tripped me out. But, you know, that I'm older now, I think the walk home is very underrated, bro.
Oh, it's underrated?
When she wanted something to eat, bro, he was like, "Oh, I got some Vienna sausages, some sardines, and tuna fish at the crib." Like, what?
He said it. Oh, girl, I got some Vienna. He was serious.
I'm like, you are in a time where McDonald's is very acceptable.
Dude,
And
acceptable? Let me tell you something. Being to say I was in school at that time, bruh, McDonald's, that's money, bruh. That's money right there. Let me tell you something.
Dude.
The 7-Eleven.
You know how I did anyway, so I didn't spend. Your mom and pa told us you got a meal plan, right? You better eat off that meal plan.
There you go. And bruh.
So you know how money I had was always for the weekend, always for the parties, the 40s, and the mambo sauce.
All right, I heard that, but times was like they may have given you more. I know the GDP had gone up and the inflation might have had you more.
No, I know when I say I specifically like during the week, bro, the $5 pizza man used to come, never was down there, bro. If it wasn't out the cab, bro, even on Friday, even on really Saturdays and Sundays too, I ate out the cab. But you know, hopefully that night that's something different.
Yeah, but yeah, they go back to the when she talks about I want some real food. She say, "Oh, my knee kind of hurt." So they go back to the room.
But she got him though. She said, "If you get me something to eat, I can wrap it for you." He's like, "Oh."
What was real funny is when he went to the room and the fellas were sitting in the alley and she walked in first and he did this. It's like,
he looked like, "I will see y'all. I guess I'll see you fellas tomorrow morning."
I'll see you tomorrow. He said he knew it was on.
He was
And
out.
he-
He ended that in about. It had to be about 2 minutes, bro.
2 minutes. She said, I think, oh, that's some old clothes. It's moving. It's moving. Your roommate's in here. Girl, if you don't scream, I won't holler. She said, I'm gone. Oh, left. He left out of it.
The way
Bruh.
he tried to play it off when he got out the door, bro. He was like, "Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I'll give you a call. I'll give you a call later."
They looking at him like, you lying. You stupid. They sitting there all looking at him like, boy, don't even try, man. Don't even try. We go to the Gamma house, and this is where it gets it's cringy, bro.
This is where you know what I said earlier. This is the moment that Giancarlo Esposito's evil streak begins.
Bruh, because he talks about, he says, I told you I wasn't going to pledge any virgins.
I took exception to this because in fraternities and sororities, bruh, there are so many different people that, you know what I'm saying? And
you do.
You got people who you may have expected, may have not expected, and for that part to kind of, it was almost like we gonna put fraternities and sororities in this box. And it's like, bruh, you got some people who probably on a normal basis probably irritates you more than anybody. But
even it's the whole.
But they did what they were supposed to do to become a part of your organization, and you cool with them.
Even to that, it's people have religious beliefs. It's like literally you're gonna force somebody.
I was like,
and the crazy part about it is it was like I am gifting this woman.
Like,
So let's all go up to the room, and I said she's crying. Everybody's fault is anybody's. It was weird.
I ain't gonna lie. If I could edit that movie right now, I would probably cut that whole part out. Like, you know what? Like, you know what? You had a good time at your crossing party. You gonna leave it at that.
Bro, it was weird then. It's even weirder.
Yeah. So now it's even worse. Like,
it's even worse, bro. It was weird then. It is weird now. It's like, and the crazy part about it is not crazy part because it's Julian is he gaslights her. He's like, I did what you told me. I didn't tell you to do that. Like, what?
I was like, bro, like,
what is wrong?
Really?
Like.
And I think she was a sophomore, I think.
Dude, she's a sophomore. Her makeup is smeared. She is crying. This is so weird. And I just don't, like I say.
And then he turned up in Whitley's bed the next morning.
Not missing a beat. Not missing a beat. But when Half Pint goes to Dap to tell him, say, yo, man, I'm a Gamma man. And he is in cult. He is in straight cult mode.
Yeah, they.
He's doing this.
That's how they. Yeah, I'm like, I don't like. I know, like. Yeah, I just don't see people.
It's weird
going in front of their friends, doing that in their face.
It is the thing too. Spike's
like rubbing
character.
It. Like I don't even like. Like Spike got some scars on him, bro.
Real scars. But you notice this? Spike says, Jane, you don't have to do this. Take your clothes off. All right. It's like, boy, your character went out the window real quick.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, he goes to Dap, and Dap said, what? Yeah, right, Jane. Yeah. Big Brother Almighty hooked it up. What? And he lost it. He lost it. But then becomes the weirdest film ending I'd ever seen in my life up until that point. I'd never seen anything like that.
And before we get to that last part, let's point out that during that part that you're about to come into, there's always a Sojourner Truth Hall somewhere.
Oh, there's always a Sojourner Truth Hall. There's always a Sojourner.
There's a Sojourner Truth Hall everywhere, bro.
Everywhere. There's always a Sojourner Truth. You didn't know that? You didn't know that?
I mean, it's like I think you can go to I think if you went to every black college, you probably find a Sojourner Truth Hall.
You're right. Oh, and before we go any further, the Blacklog is brought to you by Fade the Black Funeral Homes.
I didn't mean to laugh at that. That's funeral home. Sorry about that.
Yeah. Fade the Black Funeral Homes. Yeah, you got me laughing. Death is a part of life.
Oh yeah, let's start over, bro. Start over, please.
The Blacklog is brought to you by Fade the Black Funeral Homes. Life is a part of. I don't believe you got me though.
I'm sorry, man. My bad, man. I didn't mean to. My bad. Talking about something so serious, man. My bad.
I'm still laughing. I mean, stop. The Blacklog is brought to you by Fade the Black Funeral Homes. Life is a part of death, so let them put life into you. Death is a part of life, so let them put life into your loved one's death. We have tattoo artists on site. Fade the Black Funeral Homes. Back to what we were saying. We get into the weirdest ending I've ever. I say, I was like, what? But let me state this. Ernest Dickerson makes black people look beautiful on this fine morning with the sun and everything.
It does. Like the scene, the actual scene.
It's a beautiful scene, man. It's like Ernest Dickerson is one of the great DPs in Hollywood that just happens to be black. He's not a black dipper. He's a great cinematographer that just happens to be black. And let me tell you something. It's a beautiful scene. Everybody is running, in slow motion, walking across campus to this bell that's on the center of campus where Vaughn or Dap is walking, going to everybody, wake up, wake up. He got in Jordan's face. Brad was like, what? He looked at him. Dude, he's waking at and it's crazy because I swear everybody was in that scene. I even think the girl, I think even Buddy's cousin might have been, but it felt like everybody was there,
wow.
Dude. I might be wrong, but it felt like everybody was there. And Julian, Big Brother Almighty, is the last to come, and he slowly walks through the crowd, and he walks to up to Spike, and they look at each other, and they both look to the camera, breaking the fourth wall, and they say, "Wake up,
wake up,
wake up."
I always thought that he had run out of money. That's why that happened.
It's. You can like it or not like it, but you can't say you forgot it. You can't say it. You can never.
You definitely. If you saw that movie, you definitely did not forget that.
You can never say. I think I always had. There's always going to be an issue with Spike's things for me, but you're never going to say it's not interesting. I mean, he did the same thing. He did the same kind of ending with Jungle Fever. Like, I didn't see that one coming. Like, wait.
Yeah.
So
talk about left field.
Left field. I mean, I really want to go back, see Mo Better Blues again. Quite interesting. I don't think the ending was like that, but
no,
it wasn't. I don't think it wasn't like that. No, it sure wasn't. I remember how it ended. It ended how it was bookend on that Brooklyn Street. But School Daze, man, quite the interesting foray into. This is our first film. This is the first film we've ever done.
Yeah,
This is School Daze. It's been quite enjoyable. I think you will enjoy it when this airs. So
you can find us on YouTube. Please subscribe and like. We also can be found on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Give us 5 stars if you don't like the episode. Give us 5 stars anyway, and we promise to do better. And we also have TikTok and Instagram links, same, the blacklog. And I do want to point this out because I did want to show this earlier. This is, can't really see that. There it is. Tiffany Custom Creations. Again, tiffanycreations.com is where I got this shirt. I do want to give another shout out because this is a tough shirt, man. I like this one. I'm a t-shirt person, so I love a good t-shirt. So,
t-shirts, it's the way to go. You can find me at the Drop Zone on Crenshaw drinking. If you really got a problem with me, okay, maybe not. But until next week, from the Black Log, it's been a good one. Peace.
Peace.